This class we are going to discuss about the ordinance making power of the president. Okay, what it means, why this is so. We in detail we are going to discuss. Okay, let's understand the background. Then it is easy for us to understand and keep the thing that is the ordinance making power of president in our mind. Okay, we know there are three organs in the government, that is legislature, executive, and judiciary. Okay, each has different functions. Each performs the different functions, different roles. So we now concentrate on executive. Okay, what is executive? It has a function. It is one of the organ. It has a function of administration. Means it runs the country, it administers the country, it brings the action, it maintains the laws and order. So many things. It everyday function. It everyday administers the country. Okay, keep the keep or protect the sovereignty of the country, internal security of the country, like this so many objective it fulfills. Okay, the overall thing is what the role of executive, that is administration. Okay, then how it administers the country, that is using the laws and acts. Okay, using the laws and acts. Then who frames the laws and acts, that is legislature. That is one of the another organ. Okay, that is legislature frames the laws and acts. Which is the legislature in our country, that is parliament, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. This legislature frames the laws or acts, and using these laws, executive runs the administration. So now you understand the what is the role of executive, what is the role of legislature. Okay, see, now let's take up the situation. From the by this situation you will completely understand what is ordinance making power. Then finally we are going to the constitutional provisions where actually mentioned in the where actually mentioned about the ordinance making power of the president. What is the provisions related to it? We in detail we state. So let's understand the situation. It is very necessary for us. Okay. Okay. You know triple talaq, this is practiced in Muslim community or Muslim religion, where the husband gives the divorce to the wife by just saying the term or a word talaq. If the husband says the talaq three times, that gives the that considered as giving the divorce to the wife. That is a very simple practice for divorcing their wife for giving the divorce. Okay, don't you think there is a problem? This is a problem to women. It is a concerning issue to the women. Okay, because what about their future after that? After this, means by just practicing this, what about their future? This is a concerning issue to the women. That's why the executive, that is government, intended to stop this practice. Means it want to stop this practice and protect the women's interest. Okay, but how can the government or executive takes the actions against to this or to curb this, that is using the laws? Yes or no? You already know from here, it administers the country using the laws and acts. Without of this it never rules, it never administers, because there must be a legal backing to the administration. There must be a what legislative backing or a legal backing. Means because to prove its actions is legitimate. Because to prove its action, what's action? Executive action or government actions are legitimate. Because okay, according to the laws and means executive says I am taking the actions according to the laws and acts which are adopted in our country. But here the executive has no law related to triple talaq. Then how can it prevent, how can it curb this, how can it curbs or prohibit this practice in the community? So This arises the situation of there is a need of law, so that after having the law, the executive can take the actions related to this to stop this. Yes or no? So it needs law, but there is no law. That is, but there is no law. Okay. Then, who frames the law? From here we understand the parliament frames the law. Here, here executive is in need of law, but there is no law. Now the executive goes to the parliament, means request the parliament, make the law related to triple talaq, so that I can use and curb this triple talaq. But parliament is not in session, means parliament members are not assembled. It is in recess. It is in not in session. Simply, it is in not in session. Means the members are not assembled. Okay, if the parliament frames the laws only when it convenes, when it assembled, when the members are assembled. Okay, but it is not in session. But it is not in session. Then parliament, is it possible for parliament to frame the law? No. Okay. Situation is arised like this. There is no law related to triple talaq, and there is no the parliament is not in session. Okay, but executive needs the law. Then what is the way? What is the way, or what is the solution for this? That is presidential ordinance. Okay, this situation, these two conditions arises the situation of presidential ordinance. Means when these conditions satisfies, when these conditions are arised in the country, along with that executive is in need of law, then president pass the order related to the talaq, triple talaq. So, using this law, that is presidential order, executive takes the actions, because now it becomes legitimate actions. Whatever the executive take actions related to triple talaq, it becomes legitimate, because it is taking the actions. This law means presidential order. Yes or no? What president do? He passed an order related to the triple talaq. Okay, this is called presidential ordinance. Okay, this is called presidential ordinance. I hope it is clear. This is the situation. This is actually happened in 2019, February 2019. Okay. I hope you understand this situation very clearly. Okay. Then see the exact things which are what is mentioned in the constitution. Means constitutional provisions related to the presidential ordinance. Okay. If you understand this, that is very easy. It is just a repetition of this one. Okay. See. Okay. See, Article 123 has a provisions related to the presidential ordinance. Okay. Presidential ordinance. Which is the article gives the details of presidential ordinance? That is Article 23. 123. Sorry. Okay. See, it has a things like related to the conditions, nature of the ordinances, and what are the subject. You will understand later. Okay, first see the conditions. You understand. You already understood this sections of this section. What is the condition to promulgate an ordinance? That is, if there is no law, one condition, and parliament is not in session. Not in session. Parliament is not assembled. Only then, and one more thing, if the executive is in need of law, and there is no law related to what executive needs, and parliament is not in session. When these conditions arose, the president can promulgate ordinance. It is constitutional now. Presidential ordinance is constitutional. What if president pass order when parliament is in session? It is unconstitutional. Parliament is in session because condition. What is the second condition? Parliament is not in session. But here parliament is in session. It is unconstitutional. It is unconstitutional if president pass the ordinance, because when parliament is in session, it can frame the laws because members are assembled. What executives needs, parliament can make and provide to the to the executive. Okay. Then see the nature. Okay, see the nature. What is the nature? Was these means is these presidential ordinance are permanent or temporary? We need to see permanent or temporary. See, the constitution provided the provided the power or a function of making the law to the parliament. Yes or no? We already see that is legislative organ of the government. This has a sole power to frame the laws. Okay, but here the only person, that is president, make the ordinances. Don't you think president taking away this role, the role of parliament? Yes or no? Yes, he is dead. But constitution provided the solution for this. It means when these presidential ordinances are temporary, it makes the presidential ordinance are temporary, because to meet the urgency situation, because to meet the urgency situation or emergency situation. That is what is the emergency situation. That is no law and parliament is not in session. That is the urgency situation. Okay, after by making these as a temporary means ordinances are temporary, means these are expired soon. Okay. Ultimately who is going to frame this ordinance? That is parliament. It means when parliament assembles, assembles, these ordinance needs to be passed by parliament. Then only these ordinance become permanent. What presidents passed the ordinances, they are temporary. They become permanent when parliament passes these. What is the time period? Within 6 weeks. Within 6 weeks from its assembly, from the day it assembles, within 6 weeks it needs to pass. That is, parliament need to pass with a majority. If the parliament not pass, then it expires. Then the thing or ordinance or a law what the president passed, that expires. Okay, so the presidential ordinance are temporary, and though these two become permanent, parliament needs to pass this within 6 weeks. Okay, we'll understand. I think it is clear now. This is just to meet the emergency situation. Emergency means urgency situation. What is the urgency situation? If executive needs the law, Okay. Then subjects. What it means? Where, on what subjects? President can make ordinances. On what subjects? We need to see. Okay. See, President make the ordinances when one of the condition is when Parliament is not in session. Okay. It means wherever the Parliament can make laws. Okay, the President can also make laws over that. Means Parliament can make laws over Union list that is given in the seventh schedule. Okay, Union list and concurrent list means Parliament make laws over these list. Union list, what are the subjects in the list, what are the subjects listed in the Union list, and what are the subjects listed in the concurrent list. Same President can make over the Union list as well as concurrent list. But except there is one exception to this, that is Constitutional Amendment Bill. Constitutional Amendment Bill means President can make the ordinance over Union list concurrently, but President can't pass the ordinance of making the or amending the Constitution. Ordinance related to the amending the Constitution, which amends the Constitution. Parliament can only bring this one. Okay, Parliament can only bring this one. Okay, I hope it is clear now.